Protesters gather outside San Jose City Hall, calling for more internet freedom in a Middle Eastern country.
National AIDS Day is on December 1st every year. I'll have more on that story coming up.
And out with the old and broken, in with the new. Campus residents get a fresh set of washing machines. Update News starts now.
From the School of Journalism and Mass Communications at San Jose State University, your source for what's happening with a fresh perspective on today's issues. You're watching Update News.
Welcome to Update News. I'm Jonathan Guzman.
And I'm Veronica Villuan. Internet freedom is on the minds of many people here in San Jose, across the world from where that freedom is being threatened. More than 100 protesters demonstrated in front of San Jose City Hall Tuesday showing support for rights to freely use the internet in Iran. Local members of the Iranian community gained attention of drivers along Santa Clara Street. Iranian authorities had shut down the internet following protests across the country over human rights abuses from Iranian security forces.
Just realized that back in the Middle East, 80 million Iranians don't have no rights to express any freedom, any democracy, anything they want to have.
The internet now is only partially available to the people of Iran. Protesters of the country's internet's lockout have plans of joining a larger following of the Iranian community in Los Angeles within the next couple of weeks.
National AIDS Day is recognized on December 1st. The Children's Discovery Museum in downtown San Jose had an event educate and inform people about the disease. Madison Montoya was there and joins us live from the newsroom.
Jonathan, the event was held in a separate room within the museum, and it was clear that a majority of the attendees are very active in the HIV community based off how well they knew each other.
The Children's Discovery Museum is a place for kids to learn and play, but this past Sunday it drew a different crowd as it hosted an event on a much more serious topic. The celebration of life and light was held on Sunday to recognize National AIDS Day.
I want to honor those that we've lost too, those that are living with and affected by, and those of us we care for.
The event consisted of several speakers ranging from survivors to doctors. HIV is a disease that attacks the immune system and is incurable.
Approximately 1.1 million of Americans are infected with AIDS. Santa Clara County's Department of Public Health has several initiatives to help patients deal with HIV, as well as help honor those that have been lost to the virus.
The event was a way for people to share their stories and educate the public on the reality of AIDS. Many survivors have become nurses themselves or helped the community in other ways.
Here I am today and have converted my life into a life of serving people with HIV as well as people with disabilities.
Dr. Gupta talked about how awful and dangerous the previous treatments were and is proud of the new advancements in medication that allow victims to live more comfortable with little side effects.
I saw some people who were taking close to 8 pills a day, and those pills were hard to take. Now our folks are taking 1 pill a day.
The road to getting there was a difficult one. Loved ones of the speakers have been lost, and they have dedicated their life to educating people about HIV. The Children's Discovery Museum wanted to host this event in order to show its support and provide an open community for children.
And we recruit advisors, people who will come together and be the teachers, teach our staff how to do things that will make a difference in the community.
The event concluded with everyone joining in with a chant to express their unity.
There were other events honoring victims, such as a candle vigil held on Tuesday. Live in the newsroom, Madison Montoya, Update News.
The day after Thanksgiving always comes with some stigma due to the craziness that can occur during Black Friday. This year was no exception. Midnight shoppers in Fremont were shaken after shots were fired at a local Target during a theft. The 5 suspects are between 17 to 19 years old. Police say one of them fired multiple shots into the air to help the group flee the scene after being confronted by Target security about stealing items. We spoke with an eyewitness.
And we were actually in the electronics department too, so it's like, were we standing next to the shooter? Like, that just boggles my mind.
Suspects managed to reach their getaway car, which led to a pursuit. Officers were able to take all of them into custody. A loaded gun and stolen items from Target were recovered from the car. The case still remains an active investigation.
successful startup are slim, but some students are getting the opportunity to live out their dreams. The Silicon Valley Innovation Contest hosted more than 100 students in the MLK Library Tuesday to show off their latest ideas. Some people want to be doctors, others want to be lawyers, but these students want to have an impact on society through their innovations. And with the Silicon Valley Innovation Contest, they can be one step closer. Nikolai Stife is part of a group working on a smart heating and cooling system comparable to Nest.
We are measuring the temperature in room A and then room B, and compared to the desired temperature, and if we need temperature changes in either of those rooms, we can do those changes.
The Innovation Challenge targets San Jose students, but faculty and other schools are welcome. Dan Mashavi, Dean of Lucas College, wants to leave the students with this message.
Dream big, to really understand what the ideation process looks like, and to also understand how much hard work it is to move from ideation to actually launching a business.
Organizers say only about half the teams continue with their projects, with only 3 winning cash prizes, but others get recognition from donors. Divya Ramachandran competed last year, and seeing these new innovations reignites her enthusiasm.
So many of them are at the forefront of technology, so it's very, very interesting to see how educated all these students are.
And the winner was a group that made a medical device to assess symptoms of Parkinson's disease.
Stress, an all too familiar feeling for college students and faculty. As students prepare for last-minute papers, study for exams, with the holiday season in the mix, makes it even more stressful. Jessica Jimenez reports.
With the end of the fall semester fast approaching, San Jose State students want to finish on a successful note.
Stress is a common feeling and a part of life for college students.
Having to complete all assignments and turn them in on time causes stress on a person. And without coping mechanisms, it can make it even harder to get through. Stress can affect a person's emotional, mental, physical, and social well-being. Professor of Kinesiology Aaron Siebert is able to recognize it.
I know sometimes students get busy enough that they're trying to knock out a discussion post or start doing some, respond to like a Google chat for some group work. And so you're very distracted during class.
If you show up, we'll do class.
Professor Siebert reaches out to students to let them know she is aware of their stress and wants them to know they can contact her if an extension on an assignment is needed. Each student has different coping skills in order to not let their stress build up. Senior Natalie Ortega has learned to take small breaks when she can and does physical activity to de-stress. But there is one thing in particular that helps Natalie manage her stress.
Friends are a good distressor. They take you away from all the things you have to do, and you kind of have that time just to yourself.
Many students face the pressures of finals because it's the last chance to catch up if need be. Senior Kyle Suzaki says students especially stress over the end of the year for multiple reasons.
I think they just want to get like a high grade, so just trying to get like the best grade they can, but like sometimes it's like it seems too hard, so they kind of stress over it too much.
Professor Siebert helps students through guided imagery and relaxation techniques in some of her classes.
And some of my students are shocked by how relaxed they can get by 5 minutes of guided meditation and deep breathing.
She says when you go into your exams and if you're calm, you'll do better than if you're in a nervous and anxious state. Then you tend to not perform as well. Both Ortega and Suzaki say sleep, time management, and getting ahead on assignments are big helps in managing their end-of-the-year stress. On campus, Jessica Jimenez, Update News.
Students who live in Campus Village B are making their first trips to the new and improved laundry room after a whole month without the machines. Clothes were piling up. Jacqueline Vela has more on the story.
Housing Services decided to close the laundry room for renovations in October, putting up signs showing the room would be closed for an entire month. Jessica Chu lives in CVB and remembers the day the signs went up.
I was like, wow, that's crazy, because a lot of people only can use this area.
Chu found a solution.
I brought it back home every week.
Other students, such as Iona Bergeron, reached out to relatives who live in San Jose.
I actually have family around here, so I was able to just like, hey, let me use your stuff.
She admits she was annoyed about the closure of the laundry room, but she knew it was needed.
Like, I was here last year too, and it sucked. It was annoying that they were always broken.
Before the renovations, the laundry room was a battle between students and the machines, with most of the machines always being out of service. Kavina Brown of Housing Services says,
kind of been one thing after another with this project, but finally I think we're at a point where we're seeing light at the end of the tunnel, and the very least that we could do is give our students free access to these machines.
The laundry machines are set to remain free until CVC finishes their renovations. On campus, Jacqueline Vela, Update News.
Roman Contreras will be here with a look at arts and entertainment.
Christmas in the Park is finally open. I'll have a story coming up next.
A woman-led and veteran-led Latin American-inspired cafe has just recently opened up in downtown San Jose. I'm Jessica Jimenez, and I'll have that story coming up.
And an art exhibit starts a discussion on fashion sustainability. Update News will be right back.
And now we have Roman Contreras with A&E.
So Roman, how do you feel about fast fashion?
I think we can make a lot of movements towards making fashion a little more sustainable. The practice of upcycling clothes is getting some publicity here at SJSU. It's different from recycling, as Jaylene Aguilar shows us. A large mound of used clothing was loaded into SJSU's art building as an exhibition.
Fast fashion is an art installation curated by artist and SJSU professor Jonathan Fung.
This installation really is an opportunity to spread awareness on our campus about fast fashion, which really is a model that's been around for like 20 years.
Fung's Photo 40 class created slow fashion images to counter the fast fashion trends. Fast fashion is a contemporary term that refers to inexpensive, trendy clothing produced at lightning speed by mass market retailers. Due to its poor quality, this clothing is frequently thrown away and is one of the largest contributors to environmental damage. Fast fashion invites the viewer to contemplate the carbon footprint humans are making and the environmental impact of their clothing purchases.
People get kind of like iffy because it's like, oh, someone wore this before, but with just like, you know, even just a screen print or two, it transforms it. It has the potential to transform to something like totally new.
As part of the exhibition, SJSU alumna Crystal Poon and local artist Kai Kwong sold their silkscreen apparel.
I think it's also great to support smaller creators as well. You're kind of just putting money back into the community, and these are the people who will likely care about the same causes that you do.
The exhibit ended last week, with this clothing being upcycled to SJSU students. In San Jose, Jaylene Aguilar, Update News.
It's that time of year again where downtown is taken over by Christmas decorations. Christmas in the Park has a long tradition in San Jose, but this year there's a new twist. Bree Sheets reports.
For more than 39 years, people have come to Christmas in the Park for family tradition and fun. This year is no exception, except for this. For the first time ever, the 50-foot tree is artificial, which will save the Christmas in the Park organization $20,000. At night, the tree comes to life.
The best time to come to Christmas in the Park is at nighttime, and you can grab yourself a nice cup of hot chocolate.
Family and friends come to see the decorations that cover the center of downtown. These decorations are put up by San Jose schools, community groups, and businesses.
And I really like Christmas is my favorite time of the year, so all the Christmas lights is fun. And I also like it because I get to come with my family and then just enjoy it and walk around.
More than 700,000 people come to Christmas in the Park each year. Not only San Jose residents. The lights in the park catch the eyes of many people who are traveling from outside the city.
My coworkers and I were on our way here from Reno for work, and we're staying across the street, and we saw the Christmas in the park and thought it was beautiful, so we just decided to come and walk around and take a look at it because none of us had ever seen it before.
It took more than 260,000 volunteer hours to create Christmas in the Park this year. It's open 9 a.m. to midnight through January 5th. In San Jose, Bree Sheets, Update News.
A bite-sized cafe is a new option for students in downtown San Jose. It is a women-led, veteran-led, Latin American-inspired cafe called Gente Café y Cultura. Jessica Jimenez reports.
In search of a name for the cafe, General Manager Aaron Lopez and his business partner wanted to come up with a theme that was geared towards the Latin American community.
Because coffee is an immigrant. We don't really make coffee in the United States except for Hawaii.
Lopez was looking to create concepts that would set up the cafe as being different from all the other specialty coffee shops. They settled on the name Gente Café y Cultura, which translates to the people's coffee and culture. They wanted the space to be inviting for all cultures to come together.
Love the idea of bringing that together with coffee.
Regular customer Colin Crawford appreciates what he calls the authentic atmosphere.
It's kind of like this little oasis, like amongst the grind of the city, and it's a good, consistent place that kind of gives me a grounding or a tether, despite any chaos that might be going on in my life.
Crawford says each cup of coffee radiates with love. Baristas serve Latin-themed beverages such as the horchata latte, la morenita latte, and the el coco choco latte. Barista Anais Salazar enjoys meeting new people and being absorbed into their lives when they enter the cafe.
It's always been about the people, and in every aspect of coffee, where it comes from, to who makes it, to who packages, it's always been about the people, for me.
For Salazar, listening to the espresso grinder is therapeutic. The sound of serving the San Jose community by doing something that she loves. Aside from serving coffee, espressos, teas, sweetbreads, and a variety of different toasts, cultural events will soon be on the menu.
Really create art gallery events, movie nights, brunch days, and just fun, just constant events to bring the community together.
Lopez wanted to show symbolism within the cafe's namesake and added in the Pachuco cross. The cross was seen as a part of the Chicano gang affiliation and had a negative connotation to it. It was symbolic in providing love and protection to the Latin community during the Zoot Suit riots in the 1940s in Los Angeles. He wanted to use the history of the symbol to bring the whole San Jose community together right here at Gente Café. In San Jose, Jessica Jimenez, Update News.
And that's all I have for A&E. Did you guys get a chance to get your coffee this morning?
Unfortunately, I can't have coffee because it gives me anxiety.
That's really unfortunate.
I don't drink coffee.
When we come back, Jacqueline Vela is here with sports.
An update on SJSU sports.
Let's go! The San Jose Art Museum is honoring sports and activism from the past. I'm Javen Luan, and I have more on the story coming up next. And let's talk weather. Blankets of white snow cover Lake Tahoe up north.
As for San Jose, stay with us for a weekend forecast.
Now we have Jacqueline Vela with sports.
Aren't you from around Fresno?
Yeah, I am.
Was there a lot of buzz surrounding this game?
Definitely. I had a lot of hometown friends that were upset. It has been a big week for SJSU sports as the fall sports are coming to a close and the winter sports are taking off. The football team defeated rival Fresno State this past Saturday and celebrated by taking the Valley Trophy. The team had its best season under Coach Brennan, finishing with a 5-7 record. Up next this week's women's basketball is taking on the SJSU Aztecs this Saturday at 2 o'clock. Swimming and diving will be traveling up north to compete in a weekend-long invitational at the University of Washington. Spartan Volleyball concluded its season with a match against Wyoming. It was a tough matchup as SJSU was swept by the Cowboys. The Spartans had a tough season this year as they finished 5-13 in conference play, a real drop compared to their last season's record of 11-7. 5 seniors were honored at the final home match and will be missed next season. Up next, most of the players will be training for beach season, which will be coming in the spring. Students walk by the Smith and Carlos statue every day. It serves as a reminder for the silent protests that the two athletes performed during the 1968 Summer Olympics in Mexico City. Before they were activists for civil rights causes, Smith and Carlos were students at SJSU and a part of the illustrious Speed City. Javen Luan has more on the story.
It was a moment in time, but the message behind this Black Power salute lives on. Not just here at SJSU, where Tommy Smith and John Carlos were student athletes, but now blocks away from campus in a special exhibit.
The San Jose Art Museum, located in the heart of downtown, is featuring a new exhibit. It's called Speed City, From Civil Rights to Black Power. The exhibit was originally curated by Erla Hill.
The exhibit showcases memorabilia and photographs. Student Max Miller is attracted to the outfits and cleats used by Smith and Carlos themselves.
You can see not only what's changed in track and field today, but also what they use in that big moment.
With every physical piece represented is a mounted description depicting the significance of the item. No shortage of information is available for those walking through the exhibit.
Maybe take a little bit more time for me to really appreciate all of it, but yeah, there's obviously a lot here, a lot of stuff to check out.
The exhibit reflects on the history of San Jose State and San Jose in general during the 60s. SJSU lecturer and longtime sports columnist Mark Purdy says this representation sparks a debate about where sports and politics should intersect.
Social justice and black activism movement melding with one of the great track teams of all time.
Some of the injustice and issues people dealt with during the time of Speed City still trouble many minorities today. The exhibit is a great way to remind current SJSU students of those who came before them.
This kind of provided some information on the background of the two athletes, and it's kind of cool that they're from San Jose State.
That was Javen Luan reporting. The Speed City exhibit is currently on display, but will be taken out of the museum rotation next April. With this being our last show of the semester, let's look at what is on the horizon for the pro teams around San Jose. The 49ers are coming off a heartbreaking loss in Baltimore against the impressive Baltimore Ravens by a score of 17-14 and a field goal with 3 seconds left. With 4 games remaining, the Niners have a 10-2 record and will finish the season in Seattle Week 17 in a game that could decide who takes first place in the NFC West Division. On the ice, the San Jose Sharks are over a quarter of the way through the 2019-2020 season and just 1 point outside the wild card position in the Western Conference. The Air Shark took off earlier this week for a 4-game road trip where the Sharks will face off against the Hurricanes, Panthers, Lightning, and Predators. Sharks will return on the 12th and face the New York Rangers. 'Tis the season for shredding. The slopes, the Lake Tahoe area has received an abundance of snowfall before the official start of the winter season. 9 out of 10 resorts are currently open with snowfall ranging from 1 to 18 inches. Squaw Valley Alpine Meadows Resort say it's received almost 7 feet of snow in just 1 week. The resort also announced the opening of their 10th chairlift, which is valued at $11 million. Resorts of Tahoe City sent in this video of the snowfall just steps outside their doorsteps. And that's all I have for sports. Do any of you guys snowboard?
Unfortunately not.
I wish I could snowboard though, it seems really fun. Thanks, Jackie. Finals week is just ahead, and it looks like the weather will help you want to stay inside and study. For a look at the forecast, let's go to Roman Contreras.
Let's take a look at the weekend forecast. We're looking at some stormy weather this weekend. There's a high of 61 Friday with a low of 53. Saturday, we're expecting a high of 59 and a low of 50. And Sunday, a high of 59 again with a low of 44. These wet conditions are supposed to continue through the whole weekend with wind speeds of up to 18 miles per hour on Friday, 14 miles per hour on Saturday, and 8 miles per hour on Sunday. So bundle up if you're heading out this weekend, and if you're staying in, get those fireplaces ready. Back to you.
Thanks, Roman. Are you guys ready for this winter season?
I don't like the rain, so I'm not.
Yeah, same here.
I enjoy it.
And that does it for the last episode of Update News for this semester.
From all of us here in the studio and control room, thank you for joining us and happy holidays.